What I learned in my 20s is that I can do what I want when I want, and I do not care about what anybody else tells me or thinks about me or literally anything. Hey guys, it's Alyssa and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a chit chat get ready with me. I haven't done one of these in quite a while, and usually when I do them I don't really do much chit chatting because I don't know what to talk about. So I decided today that I would like pick a topic to talk about, if that makes sense, while I'm doing my makeup. Not gonna be telling you like what I'm using or anything, and to be honest, it's the same. I'm not a makeup guru. I don't change anything about my routine, like ever. I saw a girl do this video, I'm sorry, I don't know who it was, but they get ready with me talking about things that she learned in her 20s or like life advice, what she wished she knew, type of things like that. And I was gonna just sit down and like do that, but I feel like maybe for some of you that'll be a little boring, just me sitting here and being like, what I learned was. So I figured I would get ready. I have nothing to get ready for. It's pretty late in the day. It is 2:35, so I'm just getting ready for the sake of getting ready and looking cute. Not that I don't look cute now. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking about things I've learned in my early 20s because tomorrow is actually my birthday and I will be 25. I know, it's crazy. So my early 20s are gone. I don't really know when your mid-20s start. People say 25, other people say like 23, so I don't really know, but I'm gonna say from, 20 to 24, I mean, that's your early 20s, and I have learned quite a bit. I wrote down some talking points, that way I'm not completely just lost in the sauce over here. I have made myself a beautiful matcha latte. Is it a latte? I don't know. It's just matcha with oat milk and a little bit of vanilla almond milk creamer. Looking beautiful as ever. Okay, I have already lotioned my face. I'm not priming because I ran out of my primer, so not doing that. I'm also not going to spray my face with setting spray after. I normally do, but since I'm just at home and this is for nothing, I'm not gonna waste it. This video may be all over the place. Sorry, but like, I mean, it's me. What do we expect? So, it's honestly, if you guys are like my age, then you'll know, like thinking back to when you were 19, 20 years old, even 21, you're like, what? Like when you really think about it, wow, I should probably use my mirror. When you really think about it, that's when you realize like, you know what? I have changed a lot / learned a lot of things. Oh, love when I have insanely dry skin going on. Promise, I can't really multitask that well. So like outgrowing friendships, right? I feel like when you're younger, when you're in high school and even in, your early 20s, you don't really think outgrowing friendships or just relationships in general, doesn't have to be a friendship, is a thing. Cause you're like, oh, that's my best friend. Oh, that's my whoever. And this goes for family as well. This goes for literally anybody. I just feel like the majority of people have it with friendships. And you think that like outgrowing isn't a thing, at least for me, that's what I thought. Like I thought even if you weren't in the same place in your life, like if that's your best friend, then what do you mean? Like you guys can still be friends, which is possible, okay? It's definitely possible, but I feel like for the majority of people, when like you're so far away from each other in terms of life, you've outgrown each other and it's okay. That's an okay thing. And so like piggybacking off of that, I feel like a lot of people when they're younger don't take the initiative to cut those people off, whether it's a friend or a family member or even a relationship, whatever the case may be, because it's really hard to like comprehend that you've outgrown somebody or they've outgrown you or you've just outgrown each other or you guys are just in two different life paths. And there's nothing wrong with that. It happens. It's like human nature. And is it sad? Yeah, very. It's very sad. And this doesn't have to be just like outgrowing a friendship. Like obviously if they're f***ing toxic or literally just a horrible human being, and I feel like when we're younger it takes us a long time to realize that with friendships, because we're like, but they're our best friend, not realizing that they're just not a good friend in general to us, or like I said, that you've outgrown them, or they've outgrown you, or you've just outgrown each other, or you guys are on two different life paths. And it comes back to one of those things where you are who you surround yourself with, and that is a fact. Obviously, everybody is their own human being. We all can make our own choices. But at some point or another, if you're surrounding yourself with a group of people who do a certain thing or act a certain way or in a certain lifestyle, I mean, that's gonna reflect onto you. You're gonna soak that in, and you're gonna be like them. And so if you're trying to accomplish something, or you're trying to go a certain route and they're going a different route, it doesn't matter where you guys are at on the spectrum of life. It's just, if it's different and it's not, I don't want to say not serving you, because I feel like that sounds wrong, like a friendship is only supposed to serve you and do nothing else. That's not really what I mean. But more so if, I don't want to say holding back either, but honestly, I'm just gonna say it. Friends hold you back. They can. Because if you're in two different life areas and you're trying to do something or be something or just change your mindset even, and that person isn't in that state of mind with you, I mean, they're gonna hold you back. It's just what it is. Unless you just have like a really good friend, you know? I should probably make a disclaimer. Like, this is all hypothetical. Like, everybody's different. There are friends out there that can grow with you, that can be growing in a different way, but you guys are still really good friends and you still are able to mesh together. It's all dependent on those friendships. This is more so just kind of about realizing that when you're younger, no one takes that initiative to like make the hard choices, because we just, I don't know, we're just young. Like, we don't want to, we don't think about it. And then when you're older is kind of when you realize, like, no, I don't know if this is making any sense, because I feel like it's not. Basically, my point of all of that was that it's okay, okay? It's okay to cut people off if they're toxic for you. It's okay to cut people off if you've just outgrown each other and you're in two different phases of life. It is literally okay, whether it's a friend, a family member, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, it literally does not matter. It is okay to do it. Some people don't feel that way. There's actually adults in my life who, when I have cut certain people off, have said to me like, but they were your best friend, but you guys were so fun together, or whatever, just like making all these comments, and I'm like, don't care what other people think. I don't care if Joe Schmo thinks that I should still be friends with somebody. No one knows your friendship, no one knows your relationship better than you. So don't care about what anybody else says. That's another topic. Speaking of friends, having different types of friends is okay. It's not fake. I feel like it's a big, what am I doing next? Concealer, powder. I feel like it's a common thing that when you're younger, it's fake if you're not just like best friends at the same capacity with everybody. It's not. I feel like when in high school and like early college, you know, like having different types of friends was kind of frowned upon because you were considered fake, I feel. Personally, that's just how it was around me, I feel. But having different types of friends is definitely normal, definitely okay, and definitely needed. Not everybody needs to be your BFF. It is okay to have hang out alone friends. It is okay to have just party friends. It is okay to have acquaintance friends where you're really only friends with them when you're out with other people. That doesn't mean that you are a fake person because you have a good time and you're like, oh my God, you're so great, let's have a good time, only when you're around other people, but you would never hang out with them one-on-one. That is totally okay, at least in my book. No one has to be BFFs with everybody. There are different types of friendships for every different type of person. Dude, my neighbor's dogs, I despise them. Like, give the dog the ball. This child's literally being unsupervised outside, and she's like 4. Love that. Dude, give him the ball. I don't remember what I was saying. Stupid dogs. I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah. Different types of friendships. What was I saying? I know I was talking about different types of friendships and how it's okay to have those different types of friendships. So I'm just gonna continue talking. I don't really know where I left off at, to be completely honest, but I feel like when you're younger, you're kind of like, you feel like you have to please everybody and love everybody, and like, no, I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't need to befriend certain people if I don't want to. I don't need to be BFFs. Yeah, text me all the time if I don't want to. But I can totally still like you and still want to hang out with you, and just not in certain circumstances. Like, there are just different types of friendships. I have friends that I am literally best friends with. I will do absolutely everything with them, and it doesn't matter what it is or who it entails or anything. I have friends that I really would not care to hang out with one-on-one. I have friends that I only want to party with. I wouldn't really care to go do like activities with them. Like, and that is totally fine. Not everybody can fit into certain categories. And 9 times out of 10, to be honest, whatever like friendship that person is to you, you're probably the same to them. So like, don't feel bad about it. Like, if that person is only your party friend, odds are you're only their party friend. Like, you guys know that that's your friendship. And there's nothing wrong with having a party friend, or a hangout alone friend, or an activity friend, or, I mean, I don't really got that many friends, but like, you know, if that's you, that's fine. Nothing wrong with it. That doesn't make them any less of a friend. It's just a different type of friendship, and that's okay. You're not fake for it. Nobody is. If that's the case, then we're all f***ing fake. In terms of like relationships, I don't really want to touch on that because like, I still don't know about any of that. I mean, thankfully I am in a very happy and healthy, like, committed relationship now, and it's going very well. But like, prior to this relationship, I didn't have anything figured out, so I'm probably not the best person to seek advice on that topic. Therefore, I'm not even gonna speak on it. Besides, you know, like, if they're treating you like shit, they're not it. That's all I gotta say. Let's talk about mental health as I put on some mascara, which is gonna be difficult because I can't talk and do mascara all at the same time. Mental health, ladies and gents, boy oh boy, is it a freaking roller coaster, you know? My mascara is literally so disgusting, like I'm a mess. Like, what even is that? So with mental health, I personally have learned and feel that mental health trumps everything. What I mean by that is mental health trumps your friends, your family, your job. Yes, your job. It trumps everything, because if your mental health is not at its peak, you're not at your peak, and everything else will fall apart inevitably. So by trumping it, I mean that if you had plans to hang out with your family or your friends, or you had to work that day, if your mental health is in the dumps and just not adequate, it is okay to cancel those plans, call into work. And people may have a very conflicting opinion on that. I feel like it's very frowned upon to like call into work or cancel plans because you're not feeling up to it because you're mentally exhausted or drained or whatever, and that's ridiculous, and you can tell them all to fuck right off. I have called into work a decent amount of times in my lifetime for either being depressed and I can't get out of bed, or I just mentally am so exhausted and I need a day to myself. I need a day to relax. I need a day to catch up on stuff in my life. I just need a day. And there's nothing wrong with taking a day. I used to feel really bad in my early 20s and stuff when I would call into work because I'm mentally in a dumpster or, you know, not go to school that day, or whatever the situation was. If I literally just did not want to go out with my friends, even though I made plans with them and I'd rather sit in my bed and watch TV, I did that. Obviously, to an extent, you know, please seek help if you need help. Obviously, you shouldn't be calling into work like every single week and there's something that, you know, going on and you need to seek professional help for that. But there's nothing wrong with having your mental health trump everything else in your life, personally. And it took me a long time to realize that I was putting that last. I still do sometimes. It's very hard to like remind yourself that like everything else is kind of irrelevant to yourself. You come first, your mental health comes first, your health in general comes first, and it's hard to remember that. What do I need to do now? Oh, bronzer. I keep forgetting what I'm doing. So, life. Love it. Didn't ask to be here. I've noticed one of the biggest things that my like age group is struggling with, I see it all over Facebook, my friends, we all agree, is feeling like you're behind. Listen, I'm the queen of that. I feel exuberantly behind. I do not have a bachelor's degree. I'm still in school because I've gone back and forth with trying to get that. I can't see. I don't have a like career path in mind. I mean, I do, but like not really, you know. I just don't know what I'm doing ever. I still live at home. I have like zero money. Could not buy a house. I basically can't do anything. Like, that's adulting. I feel like when you're younger, you anticipate that you are going to go to college and graduate on time. You're going to leave college at the ripe age of 22 and immediately get a job and immediately make a ton of money, and then you can buy a house and you're gonna have this perfect relationship, and next thing you know, you're gonna be married and have kids by the ripe age of 24. And that is just not reality. It is for some people, and honestly, applaud you. I really do. I mean, props to you. But for those of us that are nowhere near that path line, it's fine. I still struggle with reminding myself that it's fine, but it's fine. Basically, everybody that I know is not on that path at all. There are very few people that I know that have graduated on time, and even the ones that I do know that graduated on time, they don't always get a job. Obviously, you're right out of freaking college. For those of us that did not graduate on time, even when they graduated later, like their life paths are, everyone's different. I know I have friends that were able to move out at 18 and, you know, start their lives, and they're doing fantastic. And I have friends that are still at home, just like me. And it's kind of all about what makes you happy. And I know that's so cliche, and it's really hard to get out of the mindset of like, oh my God, I'm 22, I should be graduated by now. Oh my God, I'm 23, I should have had my career by now. Oh my God, I'm this age. Oh my God, like, and I found myself doing that every single year, trust me. And I'm probably the most behind, but that's the thing. I feel like we have to stop saying the word behind, because like, who set this path? Like colleges, our school system, like, I don't know who set this plan in motion to tell us that we should be graduated at this point, have a job at this point, married at this point, have a house at this point, etc., etc. It's just kind of like a societal thing that I feel like doesn't apply anymore whatsoever. People are having kids way later nowadays, and that's like the trend now, is to wait until you're 29, 30, because most people are not financially stable until that point. And so like this whole idea of like, oh, I'm behind, or I'm not on the right path, and I'm just nowhere near everybody else. Everybody else is where you are, to be honest. And everybody else has their own path. There isn't a set path. There isn't a I'm behind or I'm ahead. That doesn't exist. So like, point is, you're not behind. Don't worry about it. Stop stressing about it. I know it's hard. I'm still doing it. But that was like one of the biggest things that I had to learn throughout my 20s, because the amount of times, guys, that I stressed from like 20 to like yesterday is exuberant. The amount of times that I've stressed about where I'm at in life. And like I said, I'd be lying if I said I'm not still stressing about it, but like comparing to how much I stressed about it when I was like 22, 23 to now is drastically different. What happens will happen. My life path, I'm on it, and it's gonna take me somewhere. I will be somewhere sometime eventually. And I'm kind of just enjoying living my life now. I'm not trying to stress about it, because there's no point. I can't do anything to change it. I'm already doing what I can, and that's all I can do. So there's so much more things I could talk about, genuinely, but I gotta wrap it up soon, because I'm about to be done my makeup, because my makeup routine is short. Last thing I kind of want to talk about is like drinking. I know, random to like, you think I'd like finish this video off with like a strong topic like depression or something. I mean, I kind of already talked about that, but drinking. I want to talk about drinking. Not that everybody drinks, but like a lot of people do. It's a big thing in our world and in our generation, is like, you know, turn 21 and you drink. People drink before 21, obviously. And as a avid going outer, drinker, partier, a lot of people make you feel bad for having that lifestyle. into your mid-20s. Everyone's different. There are people who don't really like to drink. It's not their forte, you know, but like, it's mine. I will say that since being in a relationship and being almost 25 here, my want to go out has definitely diminished compared to being like 22, you know, which only makes sense. But again, it's one of those things, you're on your own path, so don't worry about it. If you're not a person who likes to go out and drink and you're 21 and all your friends are, find new friends. It kind of goes back to my, you know, original thing I said in the beginning of this video. You are who you surround yourself with. And my whole life, I've surrounded myself with friends that like to go out because that is what I like to do. And like I said, I obviously had friends that didn't like to go out because you can have different types of friends like we've talked about. But that was my lifestyle. And it still is to an extent, but now that I'm older and trying to save money and have a boyfriend, I do not go out nearly as much as I did before. And that's not to say that's because I'm like not single, because like me and Cameron would go out literally every Friday and Saturday when we were first together. It just kind of got old for me a little bit. Still love going out, still love to drink, just did it last weekend and the weekend before. But like I said, it's just definitely significantly less. And my point of this is I feel like a lot of people get shamed for being 24, 25 and still drinking, 26 and still drinking, 28 and still going out. It goes back to your life path is your life path. You are allowed to do whatever you fucking want and it does not matter. Just because you like to go out every single weekend and somebody else doesn't, does not make you less of a person, does not make them more better of a person, does not make you less like productive or adulting because you want to go out on the weekends with your friends or your family or whoever. It's just about what you like and what makes you happy and is fun for you. There are people that what's fun for them on a Saturday is to go grocery shopping and go to the gym and do whatever else they do. I don't know what people do on a Saturday, you know, and that is totally fine. That does not mean that you're a loser. Doesn't mean that you're lame. Doesn't mean that, you know, you're not fun because you don't want to go party on a Saturday night. I'm just saying, I feel like I wanted to touch on that because that's a big thing right now, at least in my age group, because we're at the age of where we're told that we're supposed to transition into adulthood and buy that house and stop going out every weekend and just like settle down and be an adult. Why? I don't think that there is, like I said, there's no timeline. There's no timeline that I have to follow. If I want to go out for 3 weekends in a row and then not go out for 2 months, I can do that. If I want to go out every single weekend for 5 months in a row, I can do that. I can do whatever my heart desires because it is my life and I'm allowed to. And I guess that's just kind of my whole point of this whole video, is what I learned in my 20s is that I can do what I want when I want, and I do not care about what anybody else tells me or thinks about me or literally anything. I'm allowed to do what I want and you are allowed to do what you want. If you are in your 20s and you are feeling anything that I've mentioned in this video, just please remember that you are allowed to do what you want. There is no path. There is no set guidelines to follow, and don't worry about what other people are gonna think of if you're behind or if you're whatever they think. No one's even focusing on you. Just hate to break it to you. I mean, I'm not focusing on anyone else's life, to be honest. Like, yeah, like I said, have I noticed that there's people that are ahead of me? Not that anybody's ahead, but like they're, you know, they have their life together and I don't. Yeah, aside from that, I don't notice anything about their lives. Unless you're my friend, I literally do not notice you. And I mean that in the most nice way possible. It's just that like, why, I don't need to focus on somebody else's life. I have my own life to worry about. And I'm not gonna compare my life to somebody else's because like we've said a million times before, they're on their own path and I'm on my own path, and that is all that matters. Well, that's all I got. My makeup's done. I do need to get this makeup off my lips though. Honestly, I don't know if this video made any sense at all. I feel like I was just ranting on, which is honestly fine because that's technically what a Chit Chat Get Ready With Me is anyways, so. But yeah, that was my Chit Chat Get Ready With Me and what I've learned in my 20s. Kind of just me ranting and giving you life advice and telling you what to do, to be honest, but that's okay. Looking gingery right now. But yeah, that was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already, and comment down below what you've learned in your 20s. Yeah. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Okay, I have this literally disgusting mirror. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm gonna be 25 tomorrow. I'm so old.